I'm Jason Fitz with Yahoo Sports, hanging out with Allyson Felix, who, by the way, has 11 Olympic medals, 20 World Championship medals, that kind of awesomeness as we get ready for the men's track and field trials. Allyson, I want to get everybody caught up because this is the time of year where we're all suddenly hitting the books, trying to figure out who everybody is. So let's start with the very basic and the fun. We are a society that loves drama, my friend. Where is the biggest drama to you in the men's side?
It's definitely in the sprints. I mean, of course, that always has all the excitement. Everybody wants to know who's the fastest man in the world, and that's where it's at. So you have Noah Lyles, who has just come off this successful triple at the World Championships, and he wants to do the same thing at the Olympic Games. But there's some other guys who want to make sure they're on the team as well. So you have Fred Curley, you have Christian Coleman, Arian Knighton, Kenneth Bednarek in the 200. And so really some exciting names. It's going to be really close in the 200. I think someone really good might get left home because, as we know, only 3 people make the team.
So what's the strategy then from someone that's been through this and you know it's so close, you get into this moment? What's the strategy that gives a little edge?
The Olympic trials are all about being good enough to make the team, but still leaving something to come back with at the Olympic Games, because that's where you really want to shine. But that can be a little bit tricky. So these guys are going to be going all out. They're going to be following their training plans, and they're going to be trying to get on that team in the 100 and the 200.
You mentioned Noah Lyles, and everybody, it's not just good enough to be the fastest. Apparently now you have to be the fastest of all time, which immediately makes us think about Bolt. So do you think there's any chance he catches some of those Bolt-like numbers?
I think that Noah is, still a ways off from Bolt's numbers. I mean, Bolt set the standard. He really put those out there. All those guys, they want to be in that rarefied air, but there's still a little bit to go. And sprinting, some of these distances, you got to do some work to get down there. But I will say, if there's ever an environment that makes you do leaps and bounds above what you've been doing, it's the Olympic trials, because there's nothing like it.
Who is then, in your mind, best suited to handle the adrenaline that comes with that environment?
I mean, I think Noah is a performer. He said he wants to be the face of track and field, and he does perform. And so I think that we're going to see him do really, really well here, and he's going to give us kind of a preview of what to see at the games.
All right, Allyson, give us a deep dive here on some of the distance runners. Who do you have your eye on?
I'm excited to see the men's 800, Bryce Hoppel, see what he's going to do there. And then Cole Hawker in the 1500 is always exciting. These guys have been really working hard. And so now is the time for them to show the world what they've been doing. And we want to see them represent.
Are there any under the radar people you've got your eye on that, even if they don't make the team, that could really change the way they're perceived simply by how they perform in the trials?
Yeah, I'm really looking at Kenneth Bednarek. He calls himself Kung Fu Kenny. And I love how he's been running. He has put really good times down early on. And then also Courtney Lindsay, who also has been running really well. They're both in the 200, so I could be a little bit biased because that is my favorite event. But I think we could see something special from them. And then Arian Knighton also. We haven't seen him run this year, but if he's healthy, I think he could mix things up also.
So give us a deep dive here with all your knowledge, something that you're really looking for that maybe everybody doesn't know about, but now we can make everybody a little smarter going into it.
Rye Benjamin in the 400 hurdles, he's been doing something really special. Rye has got a lot of silver medals. He wants that gold medal. So I think the time is now. So I'm really looking for him to start putting the pieces together. And Michael Norman also in Tokyo, he didn't have the showing that he wanted in the 400 meters. So I think we're going to see him really wanting to put on a show and put those pieces together so that he can get that medal that he really wants. So looking at some of the other events, I always love watching Ryan Krauser compete in the shot put. So that's exciting. He's one to always, bring out these world records. So we want to keep our eyes on that as well. So lots of things across the board.